Joining us now is Okpe, with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jenix.
Good morning, Dr.
It's Friday. What's
Happy
the plan
Friday.
for today?
I'll let you know after the show, as always.
No, you're good. We missed you yesterday.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I missed you guys too, really.
Thank
Good morning, Tunju.
Because you failed to take my quasi-professional medical advice.
I will always take your advice, Tunju Abiola.
Yeah, you didn't respond to my own advice.
I did, Dr. Abati. We're not discussing this on international television. Good morning, Rufai. How are you this morning?
I'm happy you're back.
Tuno has an idea.
Dr. Abati. Exactly what you are up to, and I'm judging you.
Okay. She says we shouldn't.
Dr. Abati.
Okay, please. Madam, action.
Thank you. Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United Kingdom, the pre-trial case of alleged organ harvesting involving Nigeria's former Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekwuemadu, was adjourned on Thursday till October 31st, ahead of the full trial, which will commence on May 2nd, 2023. The former Deputy Senate President was appearing in court for the third time since his arrest in June, along with his wife, Beatrice. The couple are facing charges bordering on conspiracy to facilitate the travel of a 21-year-old man with the intention of harvesting his organs. Beatrice was granted bail on July 22nd, while Ekwuemadu is still remanded in custody. Under sports, Nwachukwu Goodness secured a gold medal for Nigeria in the women's para-discus throw at the 2022 Commonwealth Games on Thursday, and also set a world record with her throw of 36.56 meters. Folashade Oluwafemi Ayo also clinched the gold medal in the women's heavyweight para-powerlifting and broke the world record, scoring 123.4 points. Omolayo Bose Patricia won the silver medal in the same category. In the men's para-powerlifting, Obiachukwu Ikechukwu secured a silver medal in the heavyweight category, while Nnamdi Innocent clinched a bronze medal in the lightweight category to bring the country's medal haul to 13 in Birmingham. Then, U.S. basketball star Brittany Griner was convicted in Russia on Thursday of drug possession and smuggling and was sentenced to 9 years behind bars. The 31-year-old, who is a two-time U.S. Olympic champion and an 8-time All-Star with the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury, was also fined 1 million rubles. President Joe Biden denounced the verdict and sentence, which comes amid soaring tensions between the U.S. and Russia over Ukraine, as unacceptable. Under entertainment, ABC's The View has named two Republicans, Alisa Farah Griffin and Ana Navarro, as regular panelists on the daytime talk show, and it's reported that neither are fans of former President Donald Trump. Farah Griffin fills the chair left empty when Meghan McCain quit last summer, while Navarro, who has been a familiar face as a frequent guest host of the show since 2015, will make up the show's group of 5 hosts. Finally, a judge ruled on Thursday that Oscar-winning actor Kevin Spacey and his production companies must pay the makers of House of Cards nearly $31 million because of losses brought on by his 2017 firing for sexual harassment of crew members. The career of the 63-year-old came to an abrupt halt late in 2017 as the Me Too movement gained momentum. Last month, he pled not guilty in London to charges of sexually assaulting 3 men more than a decade ago when he was a director at the Old Vic Theatre. Let's begin what's trending with reactions trailing the inauguration of the security outfit known as Community Volunteer Guards by the Governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom, on Thursday. Speaking during the passing out parade of the first batch of 500 members of the agency in Makurdi, the state capital, Ortom said the decision to set up the security outfit is part of efforts to address insecurity in the state. The governor also said that the state government is working on the legal procurement of sophisticated weapons, including AK-47s, to arm the guards.
There can be no doubt that this is also a sobering day, because this is a mission that would have been unnecessary had the federal government authorities been serious about its constitutional mandate of security in lives and property of all Nigerians by mobilizing a robust response to the terrorism and banditry that has created nationwide insecurity. The law had to be amended by my administration to pave way for the volunteer guards to assist the conventional security agencies to curb insecurity in Benue State. By the provisions of the new law, the Benue State Community Volunteer Guards can therefore now carry legally approved weapons, which we have duly provided and we will provide.
Now let's take a tweet from CJ, who wrote, "Creating a security outfit like this was long overdue in Benue State. Fulani militia attacks in the state really unsettled the government and put a toll on the performance of the government. The pride and great source of IGR for the state, agriculture, is really affected." Well, after watching that BBC documentary on bandits warlords, this looks to me like recipe for disaster in the Benue axis. Beyond politics and sentiments, I think there are some deep revelations which need to be carefully reviewed to formulate workable and sustainable solutions. Rufai, I believe that you are a supporter of this security outfit in Benue State.
Desperate times demand desperate measures. At a point in Nigeria where nobody is safe, we don't want to go this way, but here we are. And we can't deny it. Look at the killings, the wanton destruction that went on in Benue for a while, unabated. At a point, people were being buried. And this was caused, like the governor said, by a certain group of people. Not to say there have not been cases of crime in Benue. I mean, there used to be a big criminal, I forget his name, Tekwasi or something, that was killed around that Benue area at a point, a very prominent criminal. But this, we know, had inclinations where villagers, helpless, poor villagers were being killed. And let us watch it. And that's why we keep calling for peace, safety, and security in Nigeria. It was after the killing of Afashiroti's daughter that a couple of governors in southwestern state had to set up Amotekun. But insecurity has not stopped. Look at what is happening. I hear only today a traditional ruler was kidnapped in Ondo. We've heard of the occurrence of the construction company that some gunmen went to shoot there, and the true explosive devices in Owo. We've also heard of the Owo massacre. And these are pointed to certain people of a certain tribal extraction. So we should be careful. And that's why the government needs to stand up. And he also said something when I watched him speak on Newsnight yesterday. He said, we are not going to let up our land, that the thief people defeated the Fulani people in 1804. Let's underline that part that he said. We don't want things to degenerate that way. That's why we want safety and security. But a man that's already helpless, what will he do? I am sure that there are going to be reactions very soon in the coming days, maybe by the federal government and the likes. Maybe I'm even shocked that the Attorney General has not reacted to this, because when Amotekun was created, all of a sudden we had the Attorney General. But the question is, what is the solution? We've not seen any solution on ground. Insecurity have increased. And when you have a case where we can't stem the tide of insecurity, people will take measures like this, and state government have to protect their people so that at least agricultural activities start again in Benue, and Benue can start giving us all those good old Benue yams, and people can go back to their means of livelihood. Well on point for him. And this also bolsters the conversation of state police. All of a sudden, devolution of power is already happening. Because there's virtually any part of this country where you don't have, independent guards like this, supported by the state. Is it in the north that they have Shege Kafasa? In the west, in the east, we've got a Buredike, which some people say anyway, that some people are used in a certain way that they don't like. And here we've got Amotekun. So that's why the next president of Nigeria has to restructure this country, and state police has to be confirmed once and for all. But good move by Governor Ortom. These people can't keep dying, and we can't keep burying people in this country, and they can't do anything about it.
Outside Rufai. Tundu Abiola.
Well, President Muhammadu Buhari is implacably opposed to state police, which he has stated several times. But it does look like, unfortunately, the leadership is being dragged rather than the leadership leading, because what used to be adequate for our protection clearly is failing, and everybody is resorting to whatever measures that they deem fit. Benue State is the second state in recent times, with Zamfara State saying, their governor saying that they will issue licenses to people and those people should arm themselves. It is quite clear that they have no choice at this point. To go back to Benue State, how many states in Nigeria, how many governors, as bad as insecurity has gotten in this country, how many governors have there been any kind of assassination attempt on? Benue State has that. Governor Ortom himself was almost killed, if not that he was actually physically fit. I'm sorry, he would be dead. And he's really the only one in recent times that it has gotten that bad in his own state. We all recall the mass burials of human beings. We saw their bodies just lined up and put in mass graves. We have now 1.5 million internally displaced people in Benue State. We have about 5,000 people that have been murdered. The food basket of the country is where farmers can no longer go and farm. Benue State has been brought to its knees, and it's time to really fight back. My only issue is the word volunteer, because these people are out there. I'm watching them in their smart uniform doing this, they're, marching and what have you. They're putting their lives on the line for the greater good. And I hope that that word volunteer does not mean unpaid. I hope that they will be getting paid and properly rewarded for their efforts, because those efforts are needed yesterday.
Absolutely. Dr. Batu.
Okay. One, we're dealing with security here, right? This is an illustration that, the state governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom, wants to show interest, as he has always done, in the security and welfare of the people of Benue State. He has repeatedly said, also on this program, on more than 2 occasions, that the federal government of Nigeria has abdicated its responsibility to the people of Benue State. So he wants to protect them. The first issue is to ask, beyond the interests, the emotions behind the gesture, is he empowered under the law to do so? Under Section 176, subsection 2 of the Constitution, a governor is the chief executive officer of his state, right? But does he have powers to set up a security outfit? Under Section 15, the Constitution recognizes only the Inspector General of Police as a man who can take charge of security. But under Section 216, that Inspector General of Police takes his directives from the President of Nigeria. Under Section 216, subsection 4, a governor trying to act as the chief security officer of the state can give the directive for the security of his environment, but that commissioner of police must take further instructions from the Inspector General of Police, or must take further instruction from the President of Nigeria within the purview of Section 5 of the 1999 Constitution, which says the President can delegate his authority. So there are legal issues here, and I wouldn't be surprised if the police, if they come up tomorrow and they say, well, Governor Ortom does not have the right to set up a security outfit. There is precedence in this matter. You will recall that when the Southeast governors in January tried to set up Ebube Agu, the police kicked back. They said, no, you cannot do that, because the responsibility for security is that of the police. When the Southwest insisted on creating Amotekun, which is also there was also that back and forth about whether they can carry arms and whether they can work in isolation, and whether or not they should work directly with the police. So all of this, therefore, we seem to raise the point about state police and the security situation in the country. People are saying, and we all know it, it's not just as if these people saying it constitute an abstraction, that Nigeria is not safe.
Yeah.
And where the federal government has failed, then the state government should be able to step in The unfortunate thing is that within the purview of the Constitution, national security is not under the concurrent list. It is the exclusive preserve of the federal government. So this same issue of state police that was rejected under President Goodluck Jonathan during the 2014 National Political Conference, we will still have to return to it. As Professor Kemi Rotimi has argued eloquently in his book on policing in Nigeria, and how once upon a time in this country, the police structure, the security structure was decentralized. So that should be part of the conversation for 2023. Do we need, must we quickly decentralize the security apparatus of Nigeria? Because we've seen that centralizing it and giving all powers to the president under section 5 of the Constitution is not helping anybody. And we have had a president who is a Civil War hero, a military general, and he has not been able to do it. Is it, what do they call us, a bloody civilian, who will be able to solve the problem, But the Nigerian people can insist on the way forward.
Well said, Dr. Abati. We shall take another story. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammad, on Thursday announced that the federal government and global internet company Google are collaborating to curb the excessive of subversive YouTube channels being used to spread hate speech and misinformation against Nigeria. The minister expressed delight that both the federal government and Google shared the same concern on the responsible use of social media. Mohammed, during the meeting, also implored the tech giant to deny the indigenous peoples of Biafra the use of its platform for its acts of violence and destabilization. Tunde Abiola, we've always advocated for the sensible use of social media. You're not even on social media to even start with. But I don't know how far the federal government will go with this type of, whether you call it ban or not. If you would recall, just only last week, they fined the BBC, as well as Daily Trust TV, 5 million naira because of that documentary that they aired, Tunde Abiola.
Yes, that tended to veer towards censorship. So it's really a broad spectrum here. And you do want to just stay in the middle of the spectrum. I don't go to one end of being completely lenient and anything goes, and the other end, draconian, authoritarian censorship. So trying to maintain a healthy balance is what's important here. And lobbying YouTube. YouTube already has that policy whereby if you have a violent criminal organization and they're flagged, their videos will be removed or be banned from YouTube. They have reporting mechanisms for what you find on the YouTube streets, but it's clearly inadequate, because even crimes like mass shootings in America, you will find that the person's internet history, they fall down a rabbit hole of extreme violent groups watching video after video after video on YouTube, and that results sadly in the murders of innocent people, which I imagine is what Alhaji Lai Mohammad is trying to curb. Social media giants have all been criticized for the way that their platforms have been used, so more does need to be done. The whole point is not to is to save lives, not to get people killed inadvertently, not to be used in any form as an accessory to murder in any way, because it does count. That blood is on your hands. Twitter was criticized for that in the early days of Al-Qaeda. So was YouTube, because videos of people being decapitated, how is it that people accessed it? It's on these social media platforms, and they had to do a lot of work, which they did to their credit, to clean it up. And because BBC has come under some criticism from some quarters, I want to actually give BBC praise in terms of the way they phrased it. They called it, talking about social media and linking it to violence, like, share, kill. You can't actually get people killed by what you upload, what you share, and it's just important to stress that.
Right. We shall take our final story. The governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, has generated a debate on social media for banning the wearing of face masks in public places within the state. The governor, who gave the order on Tuesday in Lokoja, the Kogi state capital, during a meeting with traditional rulers and council chairperson, said that the ban is to ensure proper identification of persons in the state. The governor also ordered the immediate closure of brothels, stating that the move is to curb criminal activities.
We are aware that some criminals will take machine or keke napep, wear face mask, face cap. they wear face cap, put on dark goggles, and then wear nose mask. Either black nose mask or any nose mask. They wear it and either be spying or going for criminal activity. Therefore, except in hospitals and related institutions, the use of nose mask in the public is hereby banned and prohibited as far as Kogi State is concerned. If you see anybody coming inside hotel, public place, and is inside Okada and going, you have the right to stop him to remove that nose mask there and then.
Dr. Abati, plenty things to talk about. First of all, what do you think about the banning of brothels in Kogi State?
Okay, I mean, Governor Yahaya Bello talked about a lot of issues.
Yeah.
About face masks, which he says for security reasons nobody should use it. There are no COVID cases in Kogi State, according to him. But the NCDC, the National Center for Disease Control, according to his records, had recorded about 5 cases in Kogi State. Kogi has the lowest number according to the records. No recorded deaths. Okay. He talked about the profiling of motorcycles, and other vehicles in the state. And he talked about the community also cooperating with the security agencies to check crime. All of this in the context of the security challenges that we have in the country. But the one that I do not understand is this banning of brothels. There is in this country a legitimate association called the National Association of Nigerian Prostitutes. No, I'm not making it up. They exist. They have presidents. They have annual elections. In fact, they also support presidential and endorse presidential candidates. You will hear from them very soon. They will endorse, candidates. They also issue statements on the economy. In fact, as stakeholders in this country, they have complained about the forex and what the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Nigerian government is doing about foreign exchange. So, it's the oldest profession. It's called Bernard Shaw, I think it's Bernard Shaw, calls it Mrs. Warren's profession. And it's the oldest profession because it's the first profession that started from antiquity in the Bible in the Garden of Eden. So for a governor to now come around and say, I'm banning brothel, I'm banning prostitution in the state, that would be very difficult. Otherwise, it will go underground because there are patrons who look for their services. I recommend, with due respect, Governor Yahaya Bello, Mrs. Warren's Profession by Bernard Shaw, which deals extensively with this subject. No, I'm not making it up. This is the truth.
You have to strike by eye makeup.
Is that what?
Not with eye makeup. No, but I have makeup.
Do you know that Nigerian prostitution once offered free services and people showed interest? You want to ban that?
I just knew we had to ask him about that.
It's enough. It's enough. Let's wrap up.
What about how God will judge him?
But God has judged you already.
Well, I'm just stating the facts.
Well, all right. We always hear these things, so every time there's nothing new under the sun. Well, thank you all for your great analysis as always. Dr. Abati, well done. Well, all right, you guys have a good weekend. That's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all next week.